Northeastern APC heavyweights hold Congress in Gombe, produce leaders by consensus. Coalition of women advocacy groups intensifies push for the actualization of reserved seats for women bill. Islamic clerics in Gombe State describe Christian philanthropies as a symbol of peace as it constructs modern mosques in the community. A very good evening and welcome to the news. I am Comfort M. Ali. Now the news. The Northeast Zonal Congress of the All Progressive Congress in Gombe, which was successfully conducted, emergence of party leaders into various. The event attracted prominent political figures, including sovereign and former governors, members of the National Assembly, and senior party leaders who gathered at the International Congress in Gombe. Supporters of different candidates also thronged the venue carrying placards and chanting slogans, while music and drumming added color to the atmosphere inside and outside the conference hall. Government House correspondent Halil Mohammed Teli completes the report.
Governor Inuahaya of Gombe State led his colleagues inside the conference hall. Senator Lawan Ahmed moved a motion for the adoption of consensus, which was seconded by the Chief Whip of this House of Representatives, Usman Bello Kumo. Similarly, Ali Indume moved a motion for the adoption of consensus candidate, seconded by the Gombe State APC Chairman Mohammed Entata Dus. In his welcome address, the APC Northeast coordinator, who happens to be the Gombe State Governor, Mai Mala Buni, called for strict adherence to constitutional guidelines in conducting the Congress, emphasizing the importance of due process in electing new zonal executives. We also welcome the governors of Taraba and Adamawa State who recently defected to the APC, describing their move as a significant boost to the party's strength in the Northeast. Buni noted that the region remains a key stakeholder within the APC and highlighted its strategic importance in the party's national structure. The coordinator further stated that the Northeast Zone is satisfied with the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, pledging continued support for his policies and programs.
The zone respectfully acknowledge and identify with the efforts of the APC-led federal government under the able leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu CFR for providing leadership for the country at this difficult, trying and challenging moment. The renewed efforts to fight the recent resurgence of insecurity in the Northeast is quite commendable.
In a vote of thanks delivered on behalf of fellow governors, the governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, expressed appreciation for the unity demonstrated within the party and called for collective effort to promote and support the party's candidate at all levels ahead of the forthcoming elections. Fintiri assured that governors under the party will do everything within their capacity to ensure the success of APC candidate. The new leaders are Vice Chairman Idris Shuaibu, Zonal Secretary Baba Alvi, Legal Advisor Tafet Dauda, Publicity Secretary Nite Amangal, Youth Leader Joseph Mondale, Representative of People with the Fiscal Challenge Haruna Tata, Women Leader Lumbi Abubakar, and Organizing Secretary Abubakar Adamu Musa. For GMC News, Halil Muhammad Teli reporting.
Commander training has been organized for personnel who will conduct the validation exercise for the second cohort of the conditional cash transfer component under the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile project, as implementation is set to commence. Declaring the training opened, the State Project Coordinator of Agile, Dr. Amin Haruna Abdul, urged the validators to remain dedicated and committed to the assignment, stressing that accurate data is critical to the successful implementation of the scholarship program. Dr. Abdul disclosed that in the second phase of the CCT, about 30,000 adolescent girls are expected to qualify and benefit from the scholarship scheme.
Whatever the pressure, we don't expect you to succumb. Just don't validate them, because we want a very authentic data. Otherwise, all the data will be useless. So that is why we are very particular of who comes for this exercise. For enrollment, anybody can go and enroll.
Identification number, NIN of each student's caregiver as part of the verification requirements. In his presentation, the Management Information System consultant, Wala Abakar, demonstrated how to use the application that will be deployed for the validation exercise. The validation exercise is expected to last for 3 days across the state.
For one way or the other, you find out that he used to restrict the payment. But in actual mechanism was set for making sure that the right beneficiaries at the right class are targeted and are captured.
In his presentation, the Management Information System consultant, Mala Abakar, demonstrated how to use the application that will be deployed for the validation exercise. As the calls for inclusive governance continue to gain momentum in Nigeria, a coalition of women advocacy groups in Gombe State has identified efforts to ensure greater participation of women in political leadership. Our correspondent reports that about 17 women advocacy groups in the state, including the Nigeria League of Women Voters, the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWAJ, Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, and women politicians, among others, visited the Gombe residences of the members of the Federal House of Representatives from the state to present advocacy letters in seeking further the actualization of the reserved seats for women politicians who will vie for elective positions. Patricia Sambo completes the report.
The lawmakers visited include Alhaji Usman Bello Kumo, representing Ako Federal Constituency, Dr. J.C. Ali Isa of Balanga Bildir Federal Constituency, and Alhaji Abdullahi Rashid, representing the Kunafada Federal Constituency. Others are Alhaji Tangoyaya Bauchi of Gombe Kwami Funakaya Federal Constituency, Mr. Paul Obed Shehu, representing Kaltungo Shangom Federal Constituency, and Alhaji Inwa Garba of Yamal Tudeba Federal Constituency. Although the lawmakers were not present at the time of the visit, the delegation was received by their personal aides, who assured the group that the letters will be delivered to the respective legislators. Speaking to journalists during the advocacy, the Gombe State Chairperson of NILOV, Hajia Hadiza Sulemaina, said the visit is aimed at advocating for increased inclusion of women in governance, expressing optimism that the proposed bill on reserved seats for women has been before the National Assembly for some time, expressing optimism the bill will receive the necessary support and eventually be passed into law.
Women occupy this.
If you look at the nature of how things are going, women and children have maybe the most of the issues in the country which are unsolved. So if we are in the governance, we'll be able to push them and then they will be solved.
Also speaking, the chairperson of the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, NAWAJ Gombe State Chapter, Abigail Kolo Ayuba, described women's inclusion in governance as a collective responsibility. She noted that the collaboration among women groups is key to achieving meaningful representation.
Other women groups to see that women are now given the chance to contest, to occupy positions in political offices.
Also responding to questions, the coordinator of Compassion for Women and Youth Initiative, Fatima Abdullahi Alu, who is also a member of NILOV, emphasized the importance of sustained advocacy. She expressed hope that the efforts will yield positive outcomes for women across the country. Now that women across Nigeria have committed themselves to this noble cause more than ever, it is expected that the relevant authorities will intensify efforts and expand opportunities for women to vote and be voted into political offices. Patricia Caleb Sambo for GMC News.
Okay. Parents in Kaltungo local government area of Gombe State have been urged to ensure that all eligible children are fully immunized. A statement issued by the information officer of Kaltungo local government, Mr. Al-Amin Umar, indicates that the call was made by the Kaltungo engineer Salim Muhammad during a meeting with officials from the primary healthcare department led by its coordinator. Engineer Saleh Mohammed also commended efforts of the local government council in improving healthcare services across the area, urging the council to maintain the tempo. The monarch also emphasized the importance of immunization, the reduction of diseases, especially among children, and charged healthcare workers at all levels to be more committed to their responsibilities. Dr. Garus also used the medium to condole the monarch over the passing away of his younger brother, Alhaji Hayatu Muhammad Bunan Kaltungu, and one of his drivers, Baba Audi, following a brief illness. Earlier, the PFC coordinator, Dr. Mento Sarki Garus, explained that the visit was to intimate the monarch on the upcoming immunization exercise, scheduled to commence on Friday this week and to continue through house-to-house visits. He noted that Royal has a big role to play in encouraging his subjects to cooperate and support the exercise. He appreciated the contributions of donor partners and all stakeholders in supporting healthcare delivery in the area. Dr. Mento Garus specifically acknowledged the roles of fathers for good health, Mama to Mama groups, field volunteers, and facility managers, among others. The coordinator also called on parents and caregivers to support the upcoming immunization exercise, which is scheduled to commence on Friday. In his remarks, the World Health Organization representative at the local government level, Alhaji Musa, disclosed that about 283 children are expected to be vaccinated during the exercise and appealed for community support to ensure its success. The Emir of Duku, Alhaji Haruna Rashid II, has directed district and village heads across the emirate to actively monitor and support the ongoing polio immunization exercise in their respective communities. Alhaji Haruna Rashid gave the directive during a polio immunization advocacy meeting held at his palace in Duku, Gombe State. He emphasized the importance of grassroots involvement in ensuring the success of the immunization campaign and called on the people to support primary health care programs, noting that collective efforts are essential to improving public health outcomes. The Emir commended the chairman of Duku local government area, Alhaji Adamu Muhammad Waziri, for maintaining a cordial working relationship with traditional institutions in advancing healthcare delivery. Earlier, the coordinator of primary healthcare in Duku local government, Hajia Fatima Abdulkadir, while briefing the Emir on immunization in the area, disclosed that Duku has been recognized as a zero non-compliant local government in immunization campaigns, attributing the achievement to sustained community engagement. Also speaking, the local government focal officers, Muawiyah Usman, representing the World Health Organization, and Mala Umar Usman, representing UNICEF, commended traditional rulers in Duku for their unwavering support towards healthcare activities and appealed to residents to cooperate with donor agencies and encourage women to continue patronizing healthcare services for the well-being of their families and communities. Islamic leaders across the state have continued to shower encomiums on Mr. Jerry Joseph Damara for constructing a befitting mosque in Kaltungo town of Gombe State and constant financial support for Islamic activities. Details of the report has presented in our studio.
The mosque, standing tall and beautiful around the Kaltungo main market, has eased the burden of worshippers who hitherto had to pray on the main road. Exposed to danger and other hazards, can now heave a sigh of relief after Honorable Jerry Joseph Damara stepped in to salvage the situation. The state chairman of the Jama'at Izatul Bidya wa Iqamatul Sunnah Jibwis, Sheikh Salisu Muhammad Gombe, who described Honorable Jerry Damara as a detribalized Nigerian, said he is not surprised with the gesture, having known him personally as one who embraces everybody and offers support regardless of tribe or religion, noting that he is also assisting in the construction of mosques in other parts of the state and indeed the country.
Kyautatawa da ke tsakaninmu da Jerry da mu'amala, akwai kyakkyawar kyautatawa da mu'amala, kuma ba mu kadai ba, duk wani musulmi da wani abu ya taso ya shafe su, in dai sun je sun same shi, in Allah da zai sa hannunsa a ci gwargwadon hali. Kuma wannan inda kowa yana haka ba za mu taɓa samun kowane irin bambanci ba. Yes, a matsayinsa na Kirista dole kafin ya yi masallaci ɗaya zai yi coci 10, wannan haka ya kamata. Amma a samu yana yin aikinsa na coci, yana yi a coci, yana ba da taimakonsa, kuma yana ba wa musulmai. To ya uniting kan mutane kenan, ya haɗa kan mutane, an zama abu ɗaya, wanda wannan shine aikin da Jerry yake yi.
The deputy chairman of Jibwis Tangalewaja branch, Malam Mohammed Garba Termana, and the chairman of Kaltungo branch, Malam Adamu Bello, as well as the chief imam of the mosque, Malam Yahya Abubakar, described the gesture as unprecedented because it has brought to them a lot of relief and they can now worship in a very conducive environment. According to them, apart from the construction of the mosques, Honorable Jerry Joseph Damara has continued to render financial support for their activities.
The masallaci an same shi ne ta taimakon wani bawan Allah wanda ake cewa ƙauren Kaltungo, Mr. Jerry Damara, amininmu ne, ɗan uwanmu ne, masoyinmu ne, kuma wanda duk sanda muka ga wasu abubuwa mukan koka masa yana taimaka mana.
Abin da yake yi ba a nan Kaltungo ba ma, duk duniya abin da yake yi gaske muna jin daɗinsa, tunda baya da ware ya ce wannan musulmi wannan kirista. Duk ayyukan da kika gani a nan in muka roke shi yana yi. Kairar da ya zo nan ma gaba ɗaya in ba don ma mun yi nauyin baki ba da mun roki wani abin da ya mana, amma gaskiya ka roka a maka da kunya.
Mu yanzu daɗi kam ba wai ba za mu ce iyakan shi ba. Masallaci dai kowa ya zo ya gan shi ya san masallaci ne, kuma duk tayin da za ka bauta wa Allah cikin wuri naɗaɗɗen wuri mai kyau za ka fi natsuwa wajen gabatar da ibadanka. Shi Kaura kullum addu'a muke masa, Allah ya albarkaci dukiyarsa, kuma Allah ya kare shi daga sharri da masifa da bala'i. Duk abin da zai jawo mishi ci baya muna roƙon Allah ya kare shi da shi.
The chairman of Kaltungo Mosque Construction Committee, Alhaji Idi Shaibu, said so far Honorable Damara has spent well over 30 million naira to complete the mosque based on their estimate, and said he has gone ahead to also provide solar lighting with a promise to upgrade the hand pump borehole to a motorized one.
Sannan kuma sai ga akwai famfo na burtsatse wanda tun kakannu ake amfani da su, yace bai dace ba, yanzu an ci gaba, yace za a turo a zo a kafa sola, sannan kuma a zo a canja wannan rijiyar burtsatse din nan a mai da shi ya zamanto motorized, sannan a yi overhead tank. Yan uwana muna godiya na musamman, Jerry ya yi abubuwa da dama, hatta abin da ma bai shafi mu a nan Izala ba, wannan ma kamar abin da ya shafi Izala bangaren Jos sun yi musabaka, ya ɗauki naira miliyan 3 ya basu, sannan ya sake ɗauki miliyan 2 ya bayar a garin Gombe. Har Kashere ya ji ya ɗauki kuɗi ya bayar lokacin da Bashir Kashere je ya gyara masallacin shi, ya taimaka musu da kuɗi.
Mukolo reporting for GMC News.
That report concludes our news, but before I go, a look at some of the stories that made headlines. We reported to you that the Northeast Zonal Congress of the All Progressive Congress in Bombay, which was successfully conducted, saw the emergence of party leaders in various positions through consensus. The convergence of prominent political figures, including serving and former governors, members of the National Assembly and senior party leaders for the Congress, took place at the Gombe International Conference Center. We also reported that the coalition of women groups in Gombe State have intensified campaigns for the actualization of the reserved seats for women bill. The groups in their numbers visited the Gombe residences of members of the House of Representatives from the state to present advocacy letters on the need for the bill to see the light of the day. And finally, we reported to you that some Islamic clerics in Gombe State have continued to shower encomiums on Mr. Jerry Damara for constructing a befitting mosque in Kaltungo town of the state of Gombe State and his constant financial support for Islamic activities. That's been the news. Thanks for watching.